Hey, what up KX crew? It is time for another update for my Rebuilding Strength series. So I've been training for 1 month now since my strength training hiatus, and I have 13 workouts under my belt, the first 4 of which I recorded and you can see on YouTube. So after the first month was done, I decided it was time to do some 1RM testing. 1RM testing is 1 rep max testing. This is different from PR testing. My 1 rep max changes over time, but my personal best remains the same. So my maximum lift that I can do today isn't the same as my maximum lift I could do during strongman. So why do 1RM testing at all? Well, for starters, it helps you learn your current limits, which is really helpful when you are trying to program for yourself. And lastly, because it builds confidence. If you know what you're capable of, that can really help you with motivation and working towards achieving that lift that you've already done before, but improving on it and then extending your limits a little bit further. So today I want to start by talking about the squat, because this was a really monumental lift for me. Not just because I'm happy with how much weight it was, it's because it was the first time I've really squatted heavy since I hurt my back in about 2014. When I didn't know how to engage my core when doing squats, I hurt my back and it took me years to recover and bounce back. For anyone who's ever had a back injury or nerve pain, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But after all these years of rehab and recovery, I finally felt ready to test my 1RM squat for the first time in 7 years. So as a warm-up, I did 135 for 2 reps, and then I went for 225 for 1. That's honestly where I was planning on stopping, but it felt really good and actually kind of easy, so I added some more weight. I did 275, and that actually went up pretty easy too, so I thought, screw it, I really want to try and break the 300 mark. So I brought the weight down, and with more form and control than I've ever had in my squats before, I pushed that weight right back up. I'm happy with my depth, I'm happy with my form. Like, obviously, I definitely want to get stronger and keep perfecting my squat because it's something that's been on the back burner for so long, but I'm just really excited about this. And again, a really monumental lift for me because it marks just so many years of pain and struggle trying to fix my back and fix my squat and try and get everything firing the way it should be. So this was a really exciting and happy day for me. Also, after going back and watching through that squat again, I noticed that I sound a lot like Wolverine from behind the scenes when Hugh Jackman was doing some voice acting for the movie. I was just watching it and I'm like, man, that sounds similar. The next 1RM I tested was the deadlift. Now the deadlift has always been a lift that I'm a little bit more confident in, and I was really excited to see how much strength that I had gained back and also how much strength I had lost since the last time that I had been actually strength training. So I started with 135 for 3, then I moved on to 2 plates, 225 for 1, then I moved up to 3 plates, 315 for 1, and they all felt good, so I decided that I would go for 4 plates. So I went for the lift and I couldn't do it, and that's okay. You know, that's what 1RM testing is for. Now I know that I'm not quite at 4 plate limit yet. I'm somewhere between 3 and 4 plates. So the next thing that I did was take 50 pounds off and try it again at 365. And I was able to do 365, so now I kind of know where I'm at. I could have maybe struggled and battled and got those 4 plates up. I'm pretty sure that I could have, but it's just really not worth it when you're doing a 1RM test because I'm just really testing my boundaries and my limits. There's no need for me to break my back attempting a lift that I have been able to get in the past. You know, you have to separate your ego from what you're doing sometimes. And the last exercise that I did 1RM testing with was a barbell overhead press. So I started with 95 for 2, then I moved up to 135 for 1, and that's actually where I was planning on stopping. I was just going to try and do a 1 plate overhead press, and I could. Obviously, I had to dip into my push press power for this, but honestly, that's okay with me. I train in the realm of strongman anyway, so there's no shame in using a little bit of push power. So after I got 135 for 1, I moved up to 165, and that actually went up pretty good. So I decided, screw it, I'm going to go 185. That was about where my strength peaked the last time that I was doing strongman, and I was just genuinely curious. So I put that on the bar, and then I realized that I was entering the realm of the weight being a difficulty to clean because I was cleaning it up to my chest to press it up. So I was reaching that point where it was like, ooh, I got to be able to clean this weight before I can put it over my head first. And I had a bit of a battle here trying to clean this bar up to my shoulder line, but after I eventually got it up, not without a good fight, I was able to push it up over my head, and it just felt so good and so satisfying. I'm so glad that I went for it, and I'm really relieved to see that I actually did not lose very much overhead press, and I think it's going to come back to me really quickly. So after those 3 lifts, it had actually been an hour that I was in this boiler room gym working out, and I decided to stop it there. I was thinking maybe if I had any more energy in the tank, I'd go for a bench press 1RM, but that's always a bit of a sketchy lift to do alone, even if you do have safety bars, and I was just too exhausted, so I decided to put that on the shelf, especially since bench press has never been my priority. I will test that one another day. And I'm happy to announce that this was the final boiler room workout. The gym in my town is opening up very soon, so my next workout will be in the normal gym. So I'm really excited about that. Again, I'm going to take a bit of a break while I train for another, month, maybe 2 months before I make another video, just so that I can update you guys on my progress or changes in routine. As for what routine I'm doing, this is the same strength block that I do when I was preparing for strongman, so I'll put a link in the description to a video where I talk about it and explain what it is exactly that I'm doing if you're curious. This will end the first section of the Rebuilding Strength series. I definitely plan on returning to it because I am far from done. I got a long road to travel yet to catch up to where I was before, and I look forward to showing you guys when I get there. If you've enjoyed these videos so far, please consider liking the video, subscribe if you haven't, and if you really want to support me as a content creator, consider joining me, as I'm going to be adding some exclusive features for channel members very soon. And just a little bit of a bonus for those of you that have made it to the end of this video, I'm going to share with you one of the scariest noises I have ever heard in my life. And that came from down here in this very boiler room. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of belt power generator boiler of some kind. I don't know. This stuff is not my forte, but all I know is that it went off every day at 5:15, and I learned this the hard way. Even me hiding around the corner here, it still made me jump. It still scared the crap out of me, and I knew it was coming. What a horrifying sound. All right guys, that's it. Klassen out.